Hello, movie, TV, and entertainment fans. This is Ray, and this is the Fandom Realm. It's time for another episode, and just as a reminder, I'll only be doing podcasts for the foreseeable future, so if you can't watch, you can definitely listen, and you can also look for us on some of the podcast outlets as well. Now, just an update on the schedule. I will be doing a reaction to Andor Episode 5 coming out later this week. I'm not exactly sure what day it will come out, probably Thursday or Friday. This is episode 11 of the Fandom Realm, and today I'm looking at episode 6 of Vampire Academy. As always, this is a spoiler review, so just be warned. Also, if you could do me a huge favor, I know a lot of you have watched multiple podcasts or listened to multiple podcasts. Hit that subscribe button for me so that we can grow the channel. Okay, I had to take some time to gather my thoughts on this episode. This probably won't be too awful long. We'll see what happens. This episode basically broke up into 4 storylines. Of those, only really 2 achieved anything. Let's talk about the 2 that didn't go very far first. The first was the plot with Mia, who is being punished for using her magic as a weapon and against a royal because she used it on Jesse in the last episode. Basically, all it looked like happened was her hands were branded. I don't really see the significance of this or why it's all that important. I am wondering maybe if there's some significance that I don't realize that is actually talked about in the books. If anybody knows, please let me know. This does, however, lead her to Christian, who agrees to teach her how to use her powers a little bit better. She had seen him use fire much more powerfully than she used her powers. So basically, she wants him to teach her. This eventually leads to a kiss. Not really happy with this kiss. I'm more of a Alyssa and Christian person. They seem to be the ones meant to be together, but we'll just have to see how all this turns out. Now, the second storyline that seemed a little like they were throwing it away was with Victor's campaign for Monarch. And basically, Sonya is going to embarrass him because Tatiana, who is playing some type of two-sided political game here, insults Mikhail as being a bad guardian. And she also smears Victor for having denied his royal duties in the past. This leads Sonya to attack Tatiana out of anger, which may cost Victor support when it comes to the election for Monarch. I really don't like Tatiana, but she needs to be developed more as an antagonist. Every good show needs a good evil person, and I think she could really be able to fill that role. Now, on to the main 2 storylines. The first of which applies to Rose. It's actually the main storyline, but it really wasn't all that interesting to me. Rose was getting an honorary tattoo and backed out of it because she's feeling guilt about being responsible for killing Mikhail. It's not really, I guess, an honorary tattoo. It was something that she had earned, but she's feeling this guilt, so she basically backed out of it. Ultimately, she goes to Mikhail's family. She's going to be treated very harshly by his sister, Sasha. But his dad, who is dying, actually supported Rose because he thinks Mikhail would not have wanted to be Strigoi. We actually find out that Mikhail's father was actually Moroi, and he had been raising Sasha and Mikhail after their Dampier mother died. Mikhail's father is dying as well, and he wants to stay in his house in order to die. But the council had already ordered Rose and Dimitri and other guardians to come and relocate the people in the town. In the end, Rose and Dimitri helped defend the house against the Strigoi, And in the morning, they all lie that Sasha was killed. The council was wanting to basically question Sasha over some of the things that she had been doing. Finally, Dmitri is going to give Rose her tattoo, and they end up kissing. This kiss has taken a long time. It probably should have happened several episodes ago, but at least we're there now. The final storyline, and by far the most interesting to me, was with the royal tour and Lissa. Soon-to-be husband Jesse is really acting like an idiot at this point, and they leave the party early with their guardians, just to be ambushed by the Strigoi. One of the guardians is injured. It's the guardian that is close to Mia, and the others are going to be able to fend off the Strigoi until more guardians arrive. Actually, Rose had felt that there was something going on with Lissa, and she was in danger, and they had informed the other Dhampirs and guardians about that attack. So they're going to be able to get some help. Lissa, it turns out, is actually on the hunt for another royal Moroi named Adrian, who collects some type of artifacts. I was never really sure about what exactly was going on there. Once she gets to see him, she actually tries to compel him to allow her to see some of these artifacts that he has collected. She is really looking for things about being a spirit user and about Saint Vladimir. It wasn't really clear if she actually compelled him, but it seems like Adrian just went along with what she was doing. He does allow her to see the collection, and then later on when she falls asleep, it's revealed that Adrian was able to dream walk, basically get into her dreams. This is because it reveals Adrian is also a spirit user, and that although she couldn't find what she was looking for in his collection, he would be more than willing to help her if she helps him on some type of adventure. We'll just have to see what that adventure ends up being. I will say one problem I had in this whole storyline, and it's something that I haven't really liked the entire series so far, is all these folks, all the characters' powers seem to be all over the place. And it's not real consistent. Two examples. Basically, Rose and Dmitri barely were able to defeat Mikhail, but they seemed much better at defeating the Strigoi in the town in this episode. It just seemed like it was a lot easier. It's not like they've been training for 3 years. Also, you also had basically 3 guardians defending Lissa and Jesse when they were being attacked by the Strigoi. I really was hoping they'd kill Jesse. I just don't like him at all, but it didn't happen. And so they were able to defend against that group of Strigoi, but in earlier episodes, an entire group of guardians can't defend a school against Strigoi. It just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. On a positive note, I did like the addition of Adrian. I'm a big Christian and Alyssa fan, but Adrian throws a wrench into everything. I did think the 2 characters and the 2 actors did have some chemistry, and I just hope this does end up interfering with, hopefully, Alyssa getting back with Christian at some point. So I'm interested to see where all this is going, and especially what this adventure is that Adrian wants Alyssa to take with him. Now, to bring this review to an end, I'll say I was actually rather disappointed in the episode. It wasn't exactly boring, but it is just too much, just has too much going on. And it isn't giving us much depth at all. It seems like a classic filler episode. This is a problem that I have with a lot of what I call classic style TV series. You know, those that are like 20 plus episodes. Lots of times they have a lot of filler episodes, especially in the middle of seasons. This is something that these series with 12 or less episodes really shouldn't have. Normally, shorter series have issues with going way too fast, but Vampire Academy is going too slow, and even with that, they're not focusing on characters, and especially the characters that we're more interested in. And I think that's a big weakness of this series so far. So hopefully they can give some characters some more depth. They sort of are glossing over some major points, I think. I'm not sure exactly how this compares to what happens in the books, but I can understand. I've read where some book readers have been upset with the series. I can probably understand that. Now, I felt like the 5th episode was much better than the first 4, but this episode 6 seems to go backwards a little in the rankings. I really only cared about that major plot line. I could have really cared less about the whole Rose plot line. So with that, I'm going to give this episode 6 of Vampire Academy a grade of a C for all the above mentioned reasons. Now, it's time to get out of here, so please subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment below, and we will see you next time on the Fandom Realm.